Hello everyone, and welcome to Rock Your Block. I'm James Jack. I'm your host for Homes Radio's edition of Rock Your Block. And today we're going to be talking about homes as opposed to a lot of the other things I normally talk about. So not only just homes, but the process of buying a home if you're new to the home buying market, and some of the other little idiosyncrasies that come along with buying a home. My guest today is Miss Milan Griffin. She's the Director of Training and Outreach for Home Free USA. Now, if I didn't know anything about Home Free USA or about you, then I'm going to have to rely on you to tell me all about you first and then about Home Free USA. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on your show. So, yes, again, my name is Milan Andrea Griffin, full name.
Okay, Andrea.
I'm the Director of Training and Outreach with Home Free USA, and I started off as a DC public school teacher and slowly transitioned into the role of being the Director of Training and Outreach with Home Free USA. And, you know, in that role, my chief responsibility amongst many others, you know, working in the nonprofit world, is to really make sure and to prepare and to give prospective home buyers or soon-to-be homeowners all the information and the personalized counseling that they need to really be successful in the home buying process. And so tying that into Home Free USA's overall mission, Home Free USA, we're a nonprofit, HUD-approved nonprofit housing counseling organization, and we work with two groups. We work with homeowners who may be facing mortgage difficulties, helping them to get a loan modification or to access the mortgage option that will prevent them from foreclosing. And then for home buyers, we provide home buyers with the personalized counseling and the group education that they need in order to be positioned for loan approval and so that they know how to navigate the process with ease and understanding.
Wow, that's more cake than I imagine would be on my plate. We're going to try to get as much of it down as possible. Let's go back just a little bit. I want to talk about you because that will lay the groundwork. Spelman grad, yes, and master's from Tufts.
Yes.
For the younger people who don't know about Tufts University, they know about Duke and, you know, some of the others. Tell us just a little bit about Tufts and why you chose Tufts.
Oh, yes. Well, so Tufts really had, I mean, it has a great name just in general as being a fantastic school. One reason why I chose Tufts, I was looking to become a teacher, which I did embark upon after I graduated from Tufts. And they have a really good program. It's called, I almost want to give a shout out, a shameless plug if I may.
Go ahead.
But the program is the Shady Hill, it's a teacher trainer course, needless to say. So it was a partnership between a local private school and Tufts University. And I was able to go to Tufts, take my grad courses while basically being a teacher, an apprentice teacher at the same time. So Tufts is a great school.
Tough too.
Yeah, exactly. Tufts is tough, very much so. But it was a great school, and I really love the way, I mean, I can speak for my program specifically. I love the way that within the program there was really an appreciation for diversity, a really time that was taken out to really teach the teachers in the program how to interact with a variety of different communities, no matter the community they may come from. You know, and then I got a good flavor for Boston and Medford, Massachusetts. That's really the part that Tufts is in. So it was a great school.
When I was growing up, you know how sometimes an idiom or something like that just falls upon you and you say, oh, well, I'll figure that one out later on. And I heard this expression years ago, when the pupil is ready to learn, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
So I always enjoy talking to people who take it upon themselves to teach. All of us really can teach, but few of us really can reach that pupil. So in the DC public school system, you were able to reach a number of students who otherwise would have just not had the benefit of your ability to teach. That's really worth the medal.
I'm actually still in touch with my students, and one of my students, now this is my pride, one of my students, my pride and joy, we've stayed in touch, and he and his mother basically co-parent at this point, and we're really doing our best to make sure, it's a young boy, and she's an immigrant mother from El Salvador, and needless to say, we're really working together to make sure this kid's land at into one of the Ivy Leagues in 2 years. It's a 2-year countdown, because when kids turn 16, it's like, okay, when are you going to college now?
I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing how there are so many smart kids, but only a few can reach them at the right time.
Yes.
And then once they get energized, they move on, and hopefully
Yes.
they pass it on to the next generation.
Yes.
Teaching, that's what you do now at Home Free USA. Tell me
Yes.
about that.
Yeah, so my love for teaching and my passion for teaching really came into the current position that I'm in very gracefully. So with Home Free, in my role as Director of Training and Outreach, I really help work collaboratively with the staff to develop workshops that are empower sessions, as we like to say, not just classes, but power sessions that are very engaging to our home buyers and our homeowners, and not only being informative, but being motivating. So often in life, people are handed a credit card before they know what to do with it.
Correct.
And so many of us make so many mistakes, and that appearing on our credit are still haunting us from 18. We may be well into our 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever. And so what we want to impart through our education model and through our workshops and through our power sessions is not only the pertinent information about increasing your credit score, how to increase your credit score, how to reduce your debt, how to improve, your savings rate, but also to help people to be motivated so that they really grow the confidence to make those necessary steps. It's amazing how many people's money self-esteem, if you will, is really low, and so just really charging people and giving them the push to know that they can do it.
Another idiom. When I was growing up, my father, who could bend a dime and flip it, you know
That's
the
a
type.
strong man.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. He used to tell me, manage your money, manage your life.
Yes.
Because most problems either are rooted in not managing your money right, or the consequence of having to pay for something that you really did not need. So he wasn't talking about social relationships with other people. He was talking about within yourself. You have to know certain basics, and one of them is to manage money well. So that's what you bring the people in, and then you smack them a couple of times and you tell them, say, you're not going to do this again. Is that what you do?
A little bit.
Okay.
Well, we do a little bit of that.
Smack
But I love that quote, because your father is exactly right. How you manage your money is how you manage your life. And to the point of another quote that I love, how you do anything is how you do everything. And so with the point of kind of smacking people in line, we
smacked the baby to wake him up.
Exactly. So. Why not smacking the dog to get him in line? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a whole other show. But, but one thing that we definitely do is giving people small steps so they can make a big difference. Because just like you said, how you manage your money is how you manage your life. So often, in order for people to make small steps, even to save money per month, even to get the money to save, find the discretionary income that they do have, just even save that money, to make those small steps towards making greater financial improvement and progress, that takes a lot of inner transformations with people, and that's why we at Home Free USA, we focus so much on the motivation piece and not just the information. You could tell people all day, look, if you want to improve your credit score, you got to do this, you got to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. But if they do not believe in their heart and in their mind that they have the capacity to do it, and then tie that with the direction as to how to do it, they won't do it.
Also, there must be that realization that to get to point B, you have to start at point A,
Yes.
wanting a home, and then getting to point B to actually moving toward that home starts with the basics, and that's where you are when you see them the first time.
Yes, and and it's a wonderful thing, because so many people that come to us, some people, they come to us and they're like, look, I'm tired of renting. My landlord is doing X, Y, Z. I'm tired of staying with my mother, my father, sister, brother, whoever. So some people come to us very motivated, and they're like, I am going to do whatever you all tell me to do, and I'm going to move forward quickly. You have other people that come, and they fall on they're on the bandwagon, then they fall off the bandwagon. Then they come back on, they fall back out. But at the end of the day, everybody has their time, and we do tell people as soon as they enter into our doors, look, we want to work with people that are committed, and we are going to meet you halfway, and we need you to really step up. And if you have the inner want to do that, we're here to help you. And if you don't, come back to us when you're ready.
When the pupil is ready to learn, the knowledge will appear.
Yes, yes.
And knowledge is power.
Yes.
And that's where we all need to be, understanding how much power we have within ourselves when it is released at the right time, especially when you want to buy a home. Now, you have a program that's grounded on 5 principles or 5 steps, 5 secrets. Give me one of them.
Okay, yes. So when home buyers are looking to buy a home and they're really approaching this process, it can kind of almost feel like scaling a large mountain and starting from the ground and going all the way up. There are 5 key principles that will really position that home buyer for great success. And number 1 is that they have to build competence. Well, let me go back. Our 5 secrets lie within the word coach. C-O-A-C-H, the word coach. And you know,
acronym.
Yes, an acronym, exactly.
So C.
Yes, so with our first secret, it goes to the C umbrella, under the C umbrella, and that really has to deal with build competence. Competence is to the C. And so with that being said, you know, people have to build their ability to navigate through this process. And the way in which they do that is by teaming with a group of people, a HUD-approved counseling agency like Home Free USA that is really going to work on their side and really going to give them the knowledge that they need to move forward, and so that they are totally competent and they have the ability to really move through this process and to get through with ease and understanding, and so that they can avoid costly mistakes. So with that competence piece, the way to build competence is really to get educated.
Okay.
And really, 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 I mean, if you've never been a nerd, be a nerd right now, because there's a lot of money on the table.
Tell me about it. I know.
This is people. This is likely to be the largest investment in a person's life. And so, with that being said, they have to get the classes and the information and the education that they need so that they can move forward and they really understand what to do and how to operate.
Okay, so we got 4 more to go, and we've got competence down. O-A. I can spell.
Exactly.
Can spell. I'm with you. Yeah, this is going to be a nice little journey over the next couple of minutes. My guest is Miss Milan A. Andrea.
Yes.
Griffin.
You know, I rarely use my middle name. I was getting fancy.
You don't want to hear mine. She's the Director of Training and Outreach for Home Free USA. And we've been talking about what it takes to be prepared to purchase a home, or if you're in trouble, what you have to do to keep from going under. I'm James Jack, and you're watching Rock Your Block, the Homes Radio edition. We'll be right back.
Filing for Social Security online. 9 out of 10 experts agree it's groovier than a Brooklyn hot dog. Or crepes is it.
When cousins are 2 of a kind.
Welcome back, everyone, to Rock Your Block, the Homes Radio edition. I'm James Jack, your host, and with me today, my special guest, Miss Milan A. Griffin. She's the Director of Training and Outreach for Home Free USA. So, for those who just tuned in, I'll tell them briefly. Home Free USA is a nonprofit organization that helps people to prepare to buy a home, and for those who may be having a little problem and very close to that foreclosure cliff, then your organization works with them to help them. Now, we were just talking about the 5 secrets, and one of the 5 secrets, or the first, using the acronym COACH, C, build competence.
Yes.
So let's reiterate just for a moment what that is, and then move on to the next one.
Okay, well, briefly, build competence under our C umbrella. Money is made off the backs of people who don't know. In order for you to have the ability to really move through this process with ease and understanding, you have to know what you're doing. You have to get competent in the process and approaching the process by getting educated. speak to a HUD-approved nonprofit housing counseling organization like a Home Free USA. Take classes. There are a litany of classes whereby, and not just the 8-hour classes, just take a lot of different classes that are offered through these HUD-approved nonprofit organizations like Home Free, so you totally understand the core pieces of the home buying process and all the extra pieces to it that are critical, such as debt reduction, credit enhancement, improving your savings. So definitely with the competence, knowing that money is made off the backs of people who don't know, and you definitely have to be in the know.
And don't rely on your friends, because your friends
Preach.
don't know.
That's true.
They tell you this and they tell you this,
Yes.
and then you find out later on that's not really the way it is. They're
Yes.
not the experts. All right, now let's move on to knowing about the options.
Yes, yes, yes. So under our second secret, under our 5 secret umbrella using the acronym COACH, under the O, we have know your options. So O stands for options. And so with that, you have to know your options. And if there's anything I say here, I'm a lie. I was about to say, if there's anything I say here, this is the most important one, but then I know I'm going to say that for number 3, 4, and 5.
Well,
So
say it when you get to 3, 4, and 5.
But so the secret number 2, know your options, is extremely important, because so often home buyers think that they have to work with someone just because, they have to work with a particular lender because they may bank with them, or they have to work with a particular lender because they got the pre-approval by them, or they have to work with a realtor because that's their cousin. And the reality is, know your options. At this point, home buyers, they are starting their own business. The home buyers are becoming business owners, essentially. And so with that being said, you have employees, and you have an option as to the employees that you want on your team that are going to make sure that your business, i.e. buying a home, is an absolute success. And so with that being said, many lenders, you have a lot of different lenders out here, and they are honestly vying for your business probably more than
Yes.
you're vying for theirs, especially if your credit is in line and your financial situation is in line, if you're truly mortgage ready. So with that being said, don't feel like just because you bank with a particular entity, you need to get your loan through them. Shop around. Know who has the best programs and products, loan programs and products that are going to suit your lifestyle, your situation, your income, what you're bringing to the table. Also, look into a variety of down payment programs. You will have some that are available that you qualify for. But again, you have options with those. Just because you have a down payment program that's available doesn't mean that may be the best program to go with. So you really want to know which ones that you should use. Also with your realtor.
Knowing your options.
Knowing your options. With realtors, you got 1,001 realtors out here, and even though, I respect the hustle of realtors, that is not an easy job. But at the end of the day, you are paying your realtor, your loan officer, and many other entities in here, either commission or direct pay. Home buyers are the only ones that are spending money in this process. So you want to make sure that you choose the people that are supporting you as you feel like you need to be supported. And so the best thing to do with that, because sometimes you can have so many options, it just gets overwhelming. The best thing to do, always going back to the first point, go connect with a HUD-approved nonprofit housing counseling organization that is going to work with you not only to give you the group education that you need so that you are aware of the process, but also is going to work with you individually so that they can help you assess the options that are right for you.
So in spite of what your friends, family, and relatives might say, it's really about you.
Exactly. And and I love what you said when we were just jumping off the first secret. You said, sometimes your friends, they may try to tell you what to do. And a lot of times I hear people say, my cousin's a realtor. My uncle, he's a loan officer. He could tell me the same thing. But my point to them is, number one, you never, and my whole family's have been in the mortgage industry for over 30 years. You never want to outsource your ability to know what you're doing so you can be in charge of your own process. That's one. And the second thing is, those folks, the realtor, loan officer, they can have the best intention in mind, and many times, if not most, they do. But that's not their job to sit there and impart all this information. And the reality is, it's more cumbersome for the realtor and the loan officer because they have a specific goal in mind, and to sit there and show you for everything from A to Z is not it. Yeah, so definitely know your options, but work with a HUD-approved housing counseling agency that can help you to assess them and access them.
Does this mean we've covered point number 3 or secret number 3 in getting advice?
Exactly. James, I can say this. I can talk about this all day long.
We only got a few more minutes. You can't
Okay,
talk
okay,
all day
okay.
long. Okay, just be more specific about getting real advice.
Okay.
Because the reason I'm saying that is because a number of states, including Maryland and some of the other surrounding jurisdictions, are now mandated to provide before you can buy a home, especially if you're getting down payment assistance
Right.
and a number of other things, you have to go through a course and get a certification to let them know that you're not going to be victimized the way a lot of people were in this last debacle.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
getting real advice, I think, is a good thing from people who are competent.
Yes,
And
and
not-
that's why it's very important, just like what you said, that's why it's really important when you're getting real advice, get it from, again, I can't say this enough, a HUD-approved nonprofit housing counseling organization. And the reason why I keep on stressing the HUD-approved piece is that not all organizations, no matter what you get, are made equal. You know, some may be better than others, some may be better equipped to service your needs than others are. But at least when they're HUD approved, you have oversight. You have a regulatory agency
Right.
that you can go back to have some accountability. You know, so often we may hear these ads on the radio. Come out to, you know, the Hyatt in Alexandria for this, you know, workshop, and we're going to show you how to buy a home in less than 2 months. If it sounds too good to be true, it really is.
It is.
A, and then B, just like to your point about what you said that education is required at this point, home buyers do need to be certified. Don't be a LAZY knowledge seeker. Don't be a lazy
Right,
knowledge
right.
seeker. You know, really take advantage of the opportunity to get as much information as you can. So again, when you're seeking the nonprofit housing counseling agency to work with, really make sure that they offer you a wide variety of classes and that you can call on them just beyond your 8 hours. Because sitting in a class for 8 hours trying to learn about a totally new subject is going to do nothing but put you to sleep. And I can tell you because I've been there before.
I know.
Yeah, so.
And you should know some of the things that they're talking about because you've already done a
Exactly.
little bit of homework ahead of time. So it's not something that's also new to you or overwhelming.
Yes.
Point number 4.
So under our second C, definitely stands for credit. So improve your credit standing. I mean, as everybody knows, as I hope everybody knows, you know, your credit is basically, your credit report is like your adult report card. And that is really the thing. Your score is telling folks that you want to get some money from, that you're trying to get loans from, or you're even trying to get hired by at this point, whether you are an A student, whether you're B student, C student, or whatever. And of course, everybody wants to work with those folks that are in the A category, the high Bs. Folks that, you know, are in the high 600s, high, you know, mid to anywhere in the 7s. If you're in the 8s, it's a wonderful thing. And so you want to be able to, you need to improve your credit standing and position yourself not only to get the best deal, but also to send the right message. Because, you know, with your credit score, it is used as a character reference beyond
That's right.
everything else.
That's
So
right.
if James has a 700 credit score, whether fair or unfair, the person is going to say, you know what, James is trustworthy. You know, he has the character to pay back my money.
And he hasn't gotten caught yet.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
No,
Hey,
there's no
fly right
handcuff
under that
rings,
radar. Right.
no
Exactly.
handcuff marks on his
Exactly.
wrist and
Exactly.
everything
Exactly.
else. I'd like to add this. People are sometimes hoodwinked, bamboozled by these quick fix credit so-called fixers who tell you, I can get your scores up 100 points in 30 days, 40 days, 50 days. Beware, because if it didn't take 30 days for your credit to sink,
Exactly. Exactly.
and the rule of thumb is, yes, you can repair your credit within a year, but it's not going to be 100 points, 200 points.
Right.
You know, you need to know, you know, from an expert what you need to do to get your credit repaired, and in the process, you learn along the way.
Yes. Yes.
Number 5. Are we finished with credit, or you want
Yes.
to say some more?
Oh, no, you got it. So, no, definitely. You know, your credit tells your story, and make sure it's saying the right thing. And again, if you get with the right nonprofit housing counseling agency, HUD approved, they will help you to really rectify your credit if that is a service that they
And
offer.
understand what credit means,
Exactly,
and understand
yes.
what the score means, what
Yes,
the FICO and the
exactly.
Beacon and all the rest of them really mean.
Yes, yes, yes.
Number 5.
So number 5 under our H umbrella is hustle. So good things come to those who wait, but better things come to those who hustle. And that is the honest to goodness truth, especially when it comes to buying a home. You know, what's funny, in the DC area, in DC alone, I bought my home in October 2011 for $250,000. Right across the street from me, 6 months later, the house was on sale for $350,000. So with that being said, you have to move quickly. Now, I'm not saying jump the gun and try to just get a deal
Right.
just because, you know, you want to get in a house, but I am saying don't sit there and twiddle your thumb saying, oh, I'll just rent this year and then, you know, it's not like a weight loss plan. And I mean, actually, it is kind of like a weight loss plan. Certain things have to be paid attention to very quickly. And a lot of times we're closer to home ownership than we think.
Yes.
If you are renting a home in a major city, more than likely, you know, there's a couple exceptions to this rule, but more than likely you can definitely afford to buy because your rent is probably just as much, if not more, than the
Yes.
mortgage payment.
Well, on that note, I hate to say this.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to cut you back. I'm going to have to let you go. You know what I mean? But I'm going to give you the opportunity to come back again because we only covered half the field. We got 50 yards to go because we didn't talk about the disenchanted or the home buyer who's in denial of the fact that he or she is close to foreclosure. So I hope you come back.
I will. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
And thank you too. My guest today here on Rock Your Block is Miss Milan A. Griffin. She's the Director of Training and Outreach for Home Free USA. And I'm James Jack with HomesRadio.com. Always do the best that you want to do because the best is within you. We'll see you later. Have a good one.